Hey guys, this is Justin. Hello and welcome to another video. So, surprisingly, we're not talking about the Book of Boba Fett right now. I may do a double upload today with the video I plan to do, so make sure you subscribe with notifications on. But there was some very interesting Halo news that I wanted to talk about. I say interesting because this has massive implications about the future of Halo Infinite, upcoming story content, and just the universe as a whole. Also, spoiler alert for Halo Infinite if you haven't played through the campaign. I'm going to stop warning you guys about that soon. But anyway, there's been a lot found in Halo Infinite's game files, stuff that didn't ship with the final game. Everything from weapons to vehicles to even a look at some upcoming multiplayer maps. However, I guess I'll call it a leak that we're talking about today is probably the most substantial yet found within Halo Infinite post-launch, and it explores a perhaps future, perhaps cut ending or mid-roll ending scene for Halo Infinite. Now, full credit to Game Cheat who got this put together. I'll link to his channel down below, as well as I believe it's his cut content channel, which is Alpha Archive, which is the watermark you're seeing on screen here. So full credit to them. I just want to talk about it and discuss the implications. The scene is pretty simple. I'm not going to play it without commentary because I'm a little bit afraid that Xbox may eventually take some sort of action against it, but it essentially shows the pilot from the campaign identifying a friendly UNSC signal, calling to Master Chief, who comes to the window and saying, "You're not going to believe this." Of course, we don't actually see what they're looking at, which of course is where the fun, rampant speculation comes in. So what's going on here? Well, this does seem to be a mid-credits ending. Of course, there's not much time spent between the pilot rescuing Master Chief and actually getting to the surface of the ring, so it's definitely at the end of the game. I'm not exactly sure why they'd be sitting in their Pelican. It does seem that they're in space, but who is it? Who are they finding? I've seen some people suggest that it may be the Arbiter, it may be the Spirit of Fire, it could be the UNSC Infinity. I suspect that in the finished cutscene there may have been a musical cue to go alongside the scene, giving us a little bit of a hint. Still, we can make some assumptions. First of all, it has a UNSC tag. I'm guessing it's probably not the Arbiter. What happened to the Arbiter? Who knows? He's missing in action. It seems like he didn't go with the Infinity to Zeta Halo, which makes sense. And based on how the pilot is reacting, it's almost certainly somebody with a spaceship. He wants nothing more than to get home and to leave the ring, so it looks like he may be getting his opportunity, and that could be the opening for future story DLCs. Who knows? Another potential and I think creative suggestion that some people have offered is that maybe it's the introduction of co-op and that you'll be finding your multiplayer Spartan floating in space. Again, I don't really think that makes sense either because this does take place at the end of the game. I don't think the timeline really works out with what they've been presenting in the sort of in-universe multiplayer storyline. I've also seen the suggestion of some, I guess you'd call them more minor characters, including Red Team, characters who'd be less familiar to the Halo fan, and for that reason alone, I'm going to guess it's probably not one of them. And I think that really leaves two most likely options, the Spirit of Fire and the UNSC Infinity alongside Captain Lasky. Let's take a look at both of them and try to figure out which is more likely. So, the last time we saw the Spirit of Fire, it was sometime before Halo Infinite, and it was stranded at the Ark. That being said, I don't think it being stranded there without a subspace drive necessarily means that's not the ship we're seeing here. I can imagine many ways that the Spirit of Fire would be sent to Zeta Halo. Here's, I think, a fairly convincing one that I made up in just 30 seconds. We know that the Banished and the Harbinger attempted to fix Zeta Halo through the use of the, I believe they called it Reformation Protocol, basically rebuilding the ring. Maybe they didn't have enough assets and material on Zeta Halo to fully rebuild it because of the immense destruction and the destruction that the ring has suffered in the past. So maybe the Ark, which is known to have full ring construction facilities, was contacted and a portal was made for the Ark to send over resources. Just a reminder, the Ark's main purpose is not only to build but also repair rings within the Halo array. Usually you'd think the rings would go there, but Zeta Halo was definitely in a strategically important spot, at least if it was still at the homeworld of the Endless. So a portal's open, the Spirit of Fire travels through it because they've got nothing else to do, and they show up at Zeta Halo, floating through space, and eventually encounter Chief and the pilot. I actually think that's a fairly likely scenario. The other one is the rebirth of the UNSC Infinity. The game has played the Infinity's ultimate fate fairly close to its chest. We know that it was defeated in battle, defeated badly, just like Master Chief, but we don't know what actually happened to it at the end of the day. Did it crash into the ring? Did it break up in space? Concept art showed it in the surface of the ring, and I'm going to guess that it did crash land and that its fate has been left purposefully ambiguous. It's possible that Lasky, alongside others, have maintained UNSC Infinity, whether through their own means or through some sort of forerunner ability of the ring, and have now got it back into service. Before the game came out, it was actually my theory that you would, throughout the game, actually rebuild the Infinity, find parts, reinstall bits, and then later, when DLC came out, it could sort of act as a hub between Zeta Halo and other locations. Maybe that's still possible. Maybe it is the Infinity that's being encountered. Who knows? Maybe the pilot's not even seeing a ship. He's seeing like a status light of the UNSC Infinity coming back online. I don't know. Personally, I think the Spirit of Fire is a bit more likely, especially with how eager Halo Infinite was to take the Banished and insert them into the game. But what do you think? There also is Morse code, I guess, in the cutscene. People on Reddit were talking about it, but it doesn't give any extra details. It's basically just a transcription of the message that's being read. So what's going to happen with this cutscene? Will it actually be used? Is this some cut idea that was dropped from the game due to time or storytelling reasons? Or is this meant to be added on, perhaps before some new DLC or something else? All of that and more, please give me your thoughts down below. Till next time though, guys, have a good one, be safe, and may the Force be with you.